load is somewhere here, so it can rotate here. But if the load is somewhere like this, then it is not moving up to here. Right? So this is the reason this will not be suitable for the multi-direction loads. Okay, it is applied for only one direction load. And the most common application of the partial general bearing is found in the railroad car axles. Railroad car axles ante trains, let us suppose. Okay, in trains, if you see the general bearing, that will be rotating with only 120-degree contact, not full journal. Right? And the full and partial journal bearings may be also called as the clearance bearings. Why? Because there is a clearance between the shaft and the bearing. Right? There is some clearance. So because the diameter of the journal is less than that of the bearing. Okay, that is right. And when a partial bearing has no clearance, and in some cases there will not be any clearance between the shaft and the journal, right? And if there is no such type of clearance, then we will call that as a fitted bearing, right? It completely fits the shaft, fits the bearing. And what are the advantages? So the advantages of partial bearings are compared to full bearings are: partial bearing is simple in construction, right? It is easy to supply lubricating oil to the partial bearings. The frictional loss in partial bearing is less because the friction is very low when compared to the full journal bearing, right? And what are the applications of the sliding contact bearings? So crankshaft bearings in petrol and diesel engines, right? And we can see this in centrifugal pumps or large electric motors, gas turbines or steam turbines, concrete mixtures, rope conveyors. So all these will have the sliding contact bearings, right? And when coming to the movement of the bearing, how the movement of the bearing will be. So let us suppose this is at the rest condition, right? See the point. So this is the center, right? It is the condition where the shaft is at rest. When we, let us suppose, switch on the motor, let us take an example of motor, right? If we switch on the motor, what happens? This will try to rotate. Okay, this is the shaft. నేను చిన్న తీసుకుంటాను ఎందుకంటే కొంచెం క్లారిఫికేషన్, right? So this is the shaft. When we switch on the shaft, right? So let us suppose it is in the anti-clockwise direction. If it is in the anti-clockwise direction, it will try to roll. It will try to roll onto the bearing. See, you have to visualize, you have to imagine what I am saying, right? Then only it will be understanding, or you can understand, right? So whenever we switch on the motor or any machine, this shaft will try to roll onto the bearing, right? Then what happens? After few seconds, it will again roll to back. Okay, it will roll to back. If it is a full journal bearing, it will be rolling on, right? So we will discuss the complete philosophy in the next hydrodynamic section. Okay, this is how the movement will be. In the position, first position, it is at rest. Then afterwards, when it is starting, and we are assuming that the direction is in the anti-clockwise direction. If it is in the anti-clockwise direction, it will roll on to the anti-clockwise direction side. And let us suppose if it is in the clockwise direction, the rotation is in the clockwise direction, then it will roll here, right? Nothing but as if you are going on a bicycle and you are climbing a hill, right? The wheel will be moving forward direction and you will be climbing onto the forward direction. If there is a slip, then you will come back, right? So this is the formation of the film, continuous film, because the film should be continuously forming within the bearing, right? So we'll see this. So this is the first position. That means when there is when the shaft is at complete rest, and when we just switch on the motor, it will try to roll on to the next position, right? So this point 1 is a first contact, right? When it is rotating in this direction, it will try to climb somewhere here. So the point of contact will be here, right? The point of contact will be here, and this is the clearance, right? This is a gap, that is nothing but the maximum thickness of the oil. And whenever the point is here, exactly the opposite direction will have the maximum thickness, right? This is the maximum thickness of the oil film, right? Then what happens? So whenever it is climbing towards this side, so the pressure of the oil will be developed here, because it is continuously rotating. If it is rotating, the oil also will rotate along with the bearing. Whenever the oil is rotating with the bearing, the oil will be accumulating here. ఇప్పుడు మనం let us suppose we are placing a bicycle, right, in some water, and if you are rotating the bicycle tire, then what happens? The water will roll along with the tire, right? In the same manner, this oil film will be rotating along with the shaft, right? And because of this, what happens? There is no gap between the shaft and the bearing here. So whenever it is rotating, the excess shaft and the thickness of the the oil that is on the circumference of the shaft will be moving here and accumulating, right? The oil will be gathering here. Because of that, what happens? The pressure will be developed, and because of that, what happens? This oil will push the shaft towards the other side, right? It will push the shaft to the other side, right? ఇప్పుడు మనం for example, if you are going on a car, let us suppose, right? If you are going on a car in water, right? లేదు అంటే for example, you are going on a plain road, right? You are going on a plain road. Then what happens? Let us suppose there is some water here, right? And when you come here, what happens? The uh, gap between the tire and the road will be increased, because the water will be covering the or filling the gap between the tire and the road, right? And because of this, what happens? Due to the excess pressure or due to the accumulation of the water, that is nothing but increasing the gap between the tire and the road, your car will try to slip in some other direction, right? Your car will be trying to slip in some other direction. We cannot control the direction, right? We cannot control the steering. This is the reason why we are not going to control the steering, because the water is accumulating at the bottom of the tire, right? And due to the weight of the car, this gap is going to be suppressed. But what the water is doing, water, because it is traveling or rotating along with the tire, the water will be accumulating in the front of the tire. And because of this, what happens? This water will try to push the car in the other direction. So there will be a slip. Skid అయింది అదే అంటాం మనం ఇది వాటర్లో. అది ఏంటంటే రీజన్ ఇదే, right? So here the water, here the oil will be accumulating, and because of this, what happens? This will try to push the shaft to the other direction, right? So that is how the point of contact will be changed from this point to this point, right? And again here the gap will be more, because exactly the opposite side, right? And now what happens? Again the oil will be accumulating here, again it will be pushing to some other direction, right? In that cyclic process, what happens, there will be a formation of gap between the shaft and the bearing, right? And then after what happens, it will try to maintain the concentric with the bearing, right? First there will be a small gap, next small gap, next small gap. So it will try to increase the gap and it will make the gap equal. ఇక్కడ for example ఇక్కడ చూడండి, ఇక్కడ this is a point, right? Direct contact with the shaft and bearing, and here there is a gap, there is a decrease. Then in the next case, this oil will be filling here somewhat more, and this will try to push somewhat up to here, let us suppose, right? So in the same way, during this full cyclic process, this shaft will be balanced with the oil film, right? ఒకవేళ మనకు స్పీడ్ తక్కువ ఉంది అంటే this will be the case, and if this speed is increasing, then this will be the case, right? This is how the oil film will be maintained within the general bearing. Clear? Or can doubts? If you have any doubt, you can unmute or you can raise your hand. If there is no doubt, we'll go to the next slide. Right. So how we are going to supply the oil, or what are the different types of modes of lubrication, right? So this is a general definition, right? So lubrication is the science of reducing friction by the application of a suitable substance that is called as a lubricant, right? And the lubricant may not be a liquid, it can be also a solid, right? And that means the lubricant between the rubbing surfaces of the bodies having relative motion. If let us suppose okay, shaft on there, this is the thing, and there is some oil and there is no movement here. When there is no movement, we cannot call it as a lubricant, right? If there is a movement, then we can. And we have some classifications of the lubricants based on the type of material or type of the fluid or solid, right? So generally we have three groups. So first one is a lubricant oil, second one is a semi-solid, third one is a solid. Liquid, semi-solid and solid. Liquid, generally oils, right? Engine oil, vegetable oil, mineral oil, all these things are called as a liquid lubricants, right? And semi-solid in the sense, we can call this as grease. Grease is a semi-solid, right? And solid, completely solid. If you take these solid lubricants, we will get graphite, molybdenum disulfide, right? Graphite, it will be very smooth. If you pour the graphite on the normal floor and if you put your leg on that, you will directly slip on the ground, right? Just as a talcum powder, right? My face powder is the same thing. If you pour it on the ground and if you put your leg on that, then definitely there will be a skid, right? This graphite will be having very nanoparticles, right? So that is the reason this will be used as a lubricant, solid lubricant. And you can also use this molybdenum disulfide, right? And what are the objectives of the lubrication, right? So to reduce the friction, to prevent the wear, right? To carry away heat that is generated during the running of the engine or some component machine, and to protect the journal and bearing from corrosion, right? So these are the advantages of the lubrication. And the basic modes of lubrication. Basic modes of lubrication. You know, basic modes of lubrication, right? So thick and thin film lubrication, right? Generally, there are two modes of lubrication. One is thick, the other one is a thin film lubrication. Sometimes we can call a zero film, zero film. Zero film in the sense there is no lubrication between the components, right? So zero film bearing operates without any lubricant, right? Zero film anam. There is no film, so zero. And what is thick and what is thin? If you take thick film lubrication, right? So it describes the condition of the lubrication where two surfaces of the bearing in relative motion are completely separated by a film of fluid. Thick film anam. Thick film and this is a bearing, and this is very thick, right? The thickness of the oil film is very high. For example, this one. Let us suppose this is a circular shaft, circular ankondi, right? So this is a thin film. Thin film and when compared to this, see the thickness here and see the thickness here, right? So completely separated by full fluid. So thick film again is divided into two groups. One is a hydrodynamic and the other one is a hydrostatic. Right? Hydrodynamic lubrication. It is a system of lubrication in which load supporting fluid film. Correct point in all. Hydrodynamic system. What is hydrodynamic lubrication? It is nothing but in which the load supporting fluid film under the oil, the lubricant that is present in between this, right, is created by the shape and relative motion of the sliding surfaces, right? So let us suppose the point of contact will be somewhere here, right? This is the shape of the oil film, right? This is the shape of the oil film, and if it is somewhere here or if it is in the center, the shape will be like this in the circular motion. That is either it will confirm the shape of the other thing, the leftover thing, right? And hydrostatic lubrication. Hydrostatic lubrication is defined as a lubrication which load supporting fluid film separating two surfaces is created by the external source. దీంట్లో self, right? With the rotation of, let us suppose if it is at rest, then the film thickness will be more here and the film thickness will be less here. And if you are rotating this, right, if there is relative motion, then what happens? It will take the leftover shape. And here you are supplying some oil. You are supplying some oil and you are lifting the shaft in the bearing. For example, this is a bearing, this is a shaft, right? There is no oil film here. We are not using any oil film here, right? But later, what we are doing is we are supplying the oil. We are supplying the oil. When we supply the oil, right, then the shaft will be lifted with the oil and this will be filled with the oil. Okay, if more oil is supplied, then it will go somewhere here, right? And this pressure will be maintained by the oil pump. We are going to use some oil pump, right, through which the thickness of the film will be maintained, right? This is the hydrostatic lubrication. Hydrodynamic, hydrostatic. Hydrodynamic in which it will take with the self, right? And in hydrostatic we will be using some external force, external supply. And we have advantages. What are the advantages? So it handles high loads and velocities because there is no metal to metal contact. If you take the rolling contact bearings, there is a contact between this because of the balls, right? There is a contact here, there is a contact here, and the rolling element will be rolling continuously. So because of that, what happens? There will be wear and tear in those things, right? That is not a case here. And the general bearing is remarkably durable and long lasting, right? And because the total load will be taken by the oil only. The damping effect of the oil film general bearing help make engines quiet and smooth running. The total load or total vibrations will be taken up by the oil, right? So that will be acting as a damper. Damper under which takes the vibrations into it. So for example, if the shaft, if there is some vibration in the shaft, this vibration is supplied to these rollers, and this roller will supply the same vibration to the outer cage, and the same outer cage will be supplying to some other fixed element. That is how vibration will be developed. But here in this thing, if there is a vibration here, right, that vibration will be taken by the oil, and because of the vibration, the film thickness may change, and because of that, what happens? The vibrations will be losing in the oil only, right? And what are the disadvantages? They require large supply of lubricating oil. So regular supply, we need to monitor regularly, right? Whether the oil is there or not. If there is no oil, then you have to supply. If there is no oil, then what happens? This will be the case again, metal to metal contact. So suitable only for relative low temperature and speed. Why we are calling, or why we are taking only low temperature? Because if the temperature is more, then what happens? The oil film thickness will be losing. That means whenever the temperature is rising, the oil will lose its viscosity. When it loses its viscosity, what happens? The friction will be developed. If the friction is developed, then what happens? There will not be a smooth running of the component, right? And speeds, also low speeds. If we are going with high speed, then what happens? The oil will get heated up, right? And it will lose its viscosity. Next, starting resistance is much greater than the running resistance. Starting resistance and for example, when we are starting a bike, right? When we start a bike and when we just go on a first gear, right? So the vehicle will be running very hard. And if you change the gear to number 2 and number 3 and number 4, then what happens? The running will be very smooth, right? So that is the reason. So initially the effort put in the initial stages will be higher when compared to the later stages, right? So why the resistance is high here? Because due to the slow buildup of lubricating film or lubricant film, right? So because this is the case, right? So the oil will be at rest condition. So when we are rotating the shaft, when what happens, it has to slowly build up the oil. So slowly, this will be starting. It will take the motion of the shaft, right? So that is the reason the starting resistance or starting effort will be more when compared to the later running resistance. Sir, isn't the first point in advantage and the second point in disadvantage contradicting each other? అవును నేను చెప్పేది అది ఇక్కడ ఎవరైతాను rule number 3K2 is asking that, sir, isn't the first point in advantages and the second point in disadvantages contradicting each other? That is what I am saying. It will handle high loads, right? High loads and velocities. because there is no metal to metal contact. This will be possible when this is done. You are right. Okay, this will be possible only this if this is possible. That is this is one disadvantage. That is what we are seeing, right? And if you are going with a high temperature, then that is not suitable for this condition. So we are avoiding this. If we are avoiding this, then this will definitely work out. Okay, I think it's clear.
సార్
చెప్పండి.
ఇక్కడ సూటబుల్ ఫర్ లైక్ రిలేటివ్ లో టెంపరేచర్స్ అండ్ స్పీడ్ అంటే ఇక్కడ తక్కువ స్పీడ్ ఉండాలి కదా సార్.
ఒక్క నిమిషం. చెప్పండి.
డిసడ్వాంటేజ్ సెకండ్ పాయింట్ లో సూటబుల్ ఓన్లీ ఫర్ రిలేటివ్ లో టెంపరేచర్ అండ్ స్పీడ్ అంటే తక్కువ స్పీడ్ కి యూజ్ అయిద్దని ఉంది. కానీ అడ్వాంటేజెస్ ఫస్ట్ పాయింట్ లో ఇట్ హ్యాండిల్స్ హై లోడ్ అండ్ వెలాసిటీస్ అని ఉంది కదా సార్.
అది ఇక్కడ ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే అది లో స్పీడ్ కూడా పోలేము మనం. If you are going with very low speed, then there is no possibility of this formation of the film, right? Low speed అనగానే మరి అంత low speed కాదు. And one more thing is we are making it as a high load, right? When we want to handle this high load, we need to have some high speed in the initial conditions. This is not possible in this condition. Okay, when compared to this will be the advantage. మనం మరీ అంత లో స్పీడ్ కూడా పోలేము. మరీ అంత లో స్పీడ్ అంటే ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ ఫార్మ్ ది ఫ్లూయిడ్ ఫిలిం. క్లియర్? ఓకే.
Yes sir.
Right, so with this we'll stop because we have some other duty. మనకి టోటల్గా 9 క్లాసెస్ వస్తున్నాయా? Somehow we are getting, I think, 9 or 8 classes. So we'll go with the basics and other things, right? So we'll go into the philosophy, how and what. We cannot go full deeply, right? If we go full deeply, then one problem will take one day, right? I will go with the concept and you refer to the problems, right? Okay. Cycle end చేస్తున్నా.
Yes sir, అయిపోయింది సార్.
Okay, right.